as Afiya time. I would be on Twitter. I would be on Instagram. If I was writing something, I was writing something. If I was working on, like, I don't know, any poetry or anything miscellaneous, that's when I would take my time to do me. Okay. And then when he wanted to bug me and be like, hey babe, I'm like, listen, you had your time. It's time to leave me alone. It's bug free time. Like, it's time for me to chill. And so I would sit on my side of the couch and just relax. Okay. And then once he was done, he was like, okay, you know what? I'm done with the TV. Then we would turn the TV on to something that we both could enjoy. And then if there were things that I wanted to watch that he did not care for, that's when he would plug in and zone out and do his thing. And I would have the TV to myself, you know? So, that was us compromising, and that was our attempt to compromise in a space that was not very much conducive to a lot of compromising, but you get my point. So I just want the takeaways from this little, vodka shot fueled rant to just be that one, learn how to live by yourself and what it means to live by yourself. And that doesn't necessarily mean living alone. It means living by yourself, what it means to, what it means for you to be comfortable living in your own space. Right? Doesn't mean living alone, because you can find out, you can learn, you can understand, and you can grasp and create the foundation. You can create the basis of what it means for you to live by yourself and to be comfortable in living in a space that's created just for you, creating a safe space for yourself. So one, I think it's very important for people to learn how to do that. Two, I think if people do want to live with each other, that they should take a very anthropological, I'm saying it right, like, right? Anthropological? Yes. Or take a very anthropology, based tactic. Take a very, take an archaeological, anthropological. I think I'm saying incorrect. Why am I spending so much time trying to figure out if I'm saying the right way? Anyway, take those steps, right? Take a very observant, third party, omniscient viewer type of gaze at the situation, meaning, go in there and just watch. Don't critique, right? Don't critique. Don't give what you would do. Don't criticize, but watch, just observe, see how the other person lives, see what makes them feel comfortable in their space, see what it means for their space, what it means for them to have that space that makes them feel comfortable, see what that means to them, and allow them to do the same. Allow them into your intimate, into your private space, and let them see what it means for you to be comfortable. Let them see what it means for you to be, your very whole self, your very whole private self in private, if you are looking to move into a space where the two of you can live together. Because I think it's really, really great if the other person can see how the other lives, and that way there creates a breeding ground for compromise. That creates the opening for conversations on what it means for us to just be together, because you could be a dog person, you could be a cat person, but you know what? I don't like dogs and I don't like cats. So what's the compromise? Let's get a fish because we're into pets, or a hamster, or a gerbil, or a guinea pig, or whatever the case may be. Or, and you guys, being visitors and exhibitors of the other space, maybe you can, grow to like, okay, maybe I can be around cats, or maybe I don't hate dogs as much as I hate them, etc. Right? So first thing is, like I said, learn what it means to create your own space, and what it means for you to live on your own, or live in your own space, live by yourself, and create your own safe space. Secondly, always be an observer when it comes to your partner's space. See what it means for them to be private. See what it means for them to live in a space, or what it means for them to create a space where they can feel that they can express themselves to their fullest possible, to their fullest capability. And then 3, figure out what works for the two of you. After doing those 2 things, figure out if cohabitation is something that can work for you guys. Cohabitation is something that is in the cards for you, that you can have a space where the two of you can share and you can find a way to bring both of your styles of living together and make it cohesive and make it a space where the two of you do not feel like there is so much tug and pull and tug and war, and there is so much 40-60 or 30-70, and it's more maybe 45-55 some days, 50-50 some days, and then maybe 60-40 some days, but it's on average, it's averaging out to being about 50-50. Or if you guys come to the realization that, we have to be separate together because we can't share a space the way that he lives and the way that I live, or the way that she live and the way that she lives, or they live. It's just too different. We're just not compatible in that living space, and either create, a space for you two to live separately together, where it is that you're finding separate corners of a place, of the same shared space, same shared space, where you are living separately, where you have a corner for each person to fully just relax and just be super intimate and allow you to come into your oneness, into your singular beings, and then you share a space in the middle, but can have a space where you can retreat to just detox from the other, or just live separately altogether, but just still be together. Like I said, not everything works for every person, and not every living situation is the best situation for every single being. Not everybody likes to be cuddled up and all over on top of each other, and all, not everybody likes that. Me, I love it. But not everyone is me, right? There are Afiyas in the world and there are Vincents in the world. And you can figure out what there are, because there's only one like you in the world too. So there's a you in the world and there's someone else in the world, so you just got to figure out what works for you and that other person, and whether it will work for you and that other person, or whether or not, you guys got to carve out your own living path. And that's the thing about adulting, and that's the thing of being like an adultish. It's an adultish thing that you gotta figure out what works for you, especially when it comes with living together. And with that was my little liquor laced rant on my thoughts of the last episode. Once again, please feel free to shout out your thoughts about cohabitation with your bae, with your Beaux-Thing, with your boopski, with your lover, with your significant other, maybe with your throuple. I don't know, because that's another thing too. There's couples, traditional relationships are out the window, so you could be a throuple and having to share a space. It's a lot of friggin' space to share. You gotta be a throuple and shit, but whatever. Share your ideas with me. You can find me on Twitter at LaJoliePoeta. That's LaJoliePoeta. You can also find me on the Instagrams at ALJA0214. Be sure to check out the Adultish podcast on social media. You can find us on Twitter at AdultishP0DCAST, and you can also find us there with that same handle, AdultishP0DCAST, on Instagram. If you feel like chatting with us via email, please do so. I love to read emails and send emails and respond to emails. I love it. I used to be a writer, so typing is my thing. Please hit us up at adultish@digidisnet.com. That's adultish@digidisnet.com. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for listening to this episode of FAD, aka FAD, aka Fifi After Dark. Once again, I want to thank Port Morris Distillery for this beautiful shot of Punto vodka, because it totally went down smooth. I had a really shitty day at work, and so I absolutely needed it, and I'm probably going to have about 4 more shots before the end of this day with my dinner, with another glass of wine. I know Afiya's drinking a lot, but shit was tough today, so our girl's got to drink. Anyway, I want you all to take care, be safe, stay cool, because it's mad freaking hot in New York right now, and I can only imagine how hot it is wherever you're living. And if it's cold, please please tell me where you're at so I can come take a visit with my big ass puffy coat. Love you all for listening. Mwah, bye.